Namanda, 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 Namanda. Okay. So we would like to have the moment of quiet sitting meditation. Okay, so for us, to calm down. Namanda. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. So today we are going to chant Juseige, which is on page 93, 97. Which is on page 93, Sutra chanting Juseige. Okay. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda.不採小便具政府上昇学餓死上仏道妙正長実法空境未正門政府上昇学利欲人少年上映主凡行四愚無浄土一生天人師人力現代公不正無才道少女三苦妙交際集約難回避知恵言滅死公門案閉塞小膜道通達全宗門高僧上満足意よ老実法日月中寿期天候普賢一種解放像公正功徳法上大集中説法四識供養一切仏具足修徳本 元年心上満得意三害を妙仏無下知通達未不詳願学営力投資最小尊志願や国家大戦の感動国書天人当内妙見ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ願にしく徳平等性祭道本菩提心往生安楽 Namanda, 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 Namanda. Okay, so now we would like to read the three treasures, which is on page 22 in the PDF and then page 8 in the purple service book. Three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we are hearing. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as the disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in the life of universal oneness, freed from the bondages of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of karpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda 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 Butsu. はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you. So I'm going to give today's Dharma message. Then share screen. Do you see the screen? 大丈夫？はい。Okay, so before I give my Dharma message, let me read this passage on the screen, how to listen to a Dharma message. Listen as if I'm listening for the first time. Listen as if the message is for myself alone. Listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Dharma. In Japanese, 弔問の心得。この度のこのご縁は初ごとと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は我一人のためと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は本上最後と思うべし。ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏。はい。ありがとうございます。ね。I think Buddhist Temple of Marin celebrated Shinran Shonin's birthday, which is May 21st, in Japanese called Gotae service. This is a very important service for Jodo Shinshu Buddhists. And then there is another important service for us Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, which is Shinran Shonin's memorial service, Memorial Day, in Japanese Honko service on January 16th. So May 21st and then January 16th, those are very important services. Hopefully you to remember those two important days and the services as a Jodo Shinshu Buddhist. So last Berkeley Buddhist Temple conducting Gotae service this year right now. I'm at the Jodo Shinshu Center, and the next temple at the Berkeley Buddhist Temple, CJ Sensei, he's officiating the service, Gotae service at the Berkeley Buddhist Temple. So last Sunday, I gave a Dharma message at the Berkeley Buddhist Temple because, I will miss the Gotae service. I just wanted to share some, Jodo Shinshu teaching with Dharma School kids and then, members. So I'm using my slide that I used last week. So this is a part of my message to Dharma School students. Then I, asked question to Dharma School student. Have you ever heard of Amida Buddha's voice? Have you ever heard of Amida Buddha's voice? And the most Dharma School students said no. Okay, then I told them, say Namo Amida Butsu. That is Amida Buddha's voice. So we recite Namo Amida Butsu. But interestingly, that's also Amida Buddha's voice. So as we recite Namo Amida Butsu, we also hear Buddha's voice. And this Namo Amida Butsu is Buddha's calling, like, I'm always with you. And I always stay with you. I listen to you. Right? So that is Namo Amida Butsu, calling from Buddha. So that's why in response, because Buddha is calling to us, right? Amida Buddha is calling to us. So in response, we say, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, thank you, Buddha. We'll be always with you. So in the voice of Namo Amida Butsu, we recite Namo Amida Butsu. At the same time, that is also Buddha's calling. So in this voice of Namo Amida Butsu, we are kind of one. We are always connected with Namo Amida Butsu. And then also other Nembutsu practitioners who recite Namo Amida Butsu. Even my oji-chan, oba-chan, my grandparents who passed away before, but in the voice of Namo Amida Butsu, I'm still connected with them. So that is Jodo Shinshu understanding or the interpretation of Nembutsu recitation, right? Revealed by Shinran Shonin. And then, so that is my, summary of a message to Dharma school student. And then after that, I gave another talk to adult using this passage, this actually hymn, poem composed by Shinran Shoni. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gasho. For all people, men and women of high station and low, saying the name of Amida, that is Namo Amida Butsu, is such that whether one is working, standing, sitting, or reclining is of no concern, and time, place, and condition are not restricted. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So based on his understanding, interpretation of Nembutsu recitation, Venerable Shinran composed this hymn. So let me use this to talk about feature or uniqueness of Nembutsu practice mentioned in this hymn by Shinran Shoni. I hope you know what this is. Maybe some people don't know, maybe younger people don't know this. But, since I know it, maybe I'm, not in the group of younger people anymore. So this is a cell phone or maybe mobile phone. So today, speaking of, cell phone or mobile phone is, this one, right? And then, but about maybe 30 years ago, 40 years ago, right? So this was the image on the screen. That device was a mobile phone. People carried this big and heavy device on their shoulders. But today we don't have to carry this big heavy device thanks to the development of the technology. Right? In addition to its current convenient size, we can do many things with this small device, right? We can access to the internet, we can send text message. This can be like a camera or a voice recorder or video camera, right? And then calendar, calculator. Yeah, these days people make a payment, with this cell phone, right? So I think this is a amazing, small device, but it's kind of amazing device. So let me go back to this, big, heavy, device. For us who now are so used to this small cell phone, this big, heavy, box may not look cool or convenient anymore. However, especially for those who are maybe older than me, please remember the day when this mobile phone was released 30, 40 years ago. I'm sure many people in those days must have surprised or excited with this device technology. Right? Why? This is because we didn't have to come to the phone, right? But we could carry around the phone and make a call. So I'm showing kind of history of, telephone. So about 70 or maybe 80 years ago, to make a phone call, people had to come to a certain place where a phone was installed. Making a phone call was not as easy as today. Later on, more phones were installed in more places. Many people hooked up their own phones in homes and offices. Even so, people had to come to the phone where it was located to make a phone call. And then the next one. Then we got the cordless phone. I think, the cordless phone came to my house. I was maybe second grade or, first grade. That is a kind of another amazing, technology. With this portable handset, right? We don't have to come to the phone. Cordless phone is convenient, but still, there is a range is limited, so we can make a phone call within the house or office. Right? Then, with the invention of mobile phone, we humans got more convenience or freedom. There might be some conditions, such as like a reception of signals or batteries. But in a sense, we could now make a phone call with this cell phone, right? Anytime and anywhere. I'm sure this is one of the greatest, most revolutionary inventions of communication technology in the human history, right? この携帯電話 cell phone. So now I would like to start talking about the relationship between cell phone, mobile phone, and then Jodo Shinshu teaching. Okay? I'm not here today to promote a cell phone. Yeah. But this is just an introduction of my Dharma message today. The Nembutsu recitation, Nembutsu practice of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism is as revolutionary as this mobile phone, cell phone. I would say Jodo Shinshu Buddhism is a kind of mobile Buddhism or portable Buddhism. So let me explain more about what it means. As you may know, Buddhism is a path for us to become a Buddha or enlightened one. To become an enlightened one, we Buddhists are supposed to engage ourselves in practices, Buddhist practices. So to attain enlightenment is our destination. And then practice or discipline is a process, to get there. Generally speaking, to perform Buddhist practices, we need to fulfill some conditions. So we may need to live at a monastery, or we may need a quiet place, or we may need a robe or special attire, or maybe zabuton cushion for meditation practice. And the time is also strictly scheduled for some practices, right? From this time to that time, you mustn't eat, right? No meal. We have to perform a certain practice on a certain day or a certain time. We may need special equipment or tools. In many Buddhist traditions, we need to fulfill many conditions and requirements to perform Buddhist practices. So the more conditions we have, the more difficulties we may have to fulfill them. As a result, only a small number of people can successfully accomplish the Buddhist practice and get the goal, right? On the contrary, the fewer conditions we have, the fewer difficulties we will have, right? So that is, more people can successfully accomplish the practice and then make progress toward the destination. Then the question is, which type of Buddhism, which type of Buddhist practice does Jodo Shinshu belong to? So Venerable Shinran Shonin encouraged us to say the name Namo Amida Butsu Nembutsu. Just to recite a single word, Namo Amida Butsu. I'd say it is the most simple, easy practice with the kind of least conditions. And we don't have to perform any other complicated, difficult, lengthy practices, but only the Nembutsu recitation is fine. At the beginning of my message today, I read the hymn, poem composed by Shinran Shonin. Here he talks about what the Nembutsu practice is, especially from the conditions for all people, men and women, of high station and low. Saying the name of Amida, saying Namo Amida Butsu is such that whether one is working, standing, sitting, reclining is of no concern. Time, place, conditions are not restricted. The name Namo Amida Butsu was prepared by Amida Buddha to embrace, guide all beings, or to liberate us from samsara and have us attain Buddhahood in the Pure Land. The name Namo Amida Butsu is a sort of manifestation or maybe crystallization of Amida Buddha's great compassion. So for this practice, our gender, social status, race, nationality, health condition, academic background, all those things don't matter. Since the name prepared by Amida Buddha, Namo Amida Butsu, has the power or virtue, we don't recite how we recite it doesn't matter. How we recite it doesn't matter. We can say Namo Amida Butsu when we can walk, stand, sit, or recline. If we want, we can say Namo Amida Butsu while we are taking a shower, eating a meal, sitting in the restroom, and so forth. So whenever we feel like saying Namo Amida Butsu, we can say it. We can say it. The number of recitation has no condition either. There is no rule on how many times we should recite it. If we want, we can say Namo Amida Butsu 10,000 times a day, or only single utterance of Namo Amida Butsu is fine as well. There is no difference between a 10,000 time Nembutsu and then one time recitation in terms of its virtues, value. We can recite it anytime and anywhere. There is no condition of Nembutsu recitation. Because of this feature, I call the Jodo Shinshu portable Buddhism. Portable Buddhism, as a mobile phone allows us to make a phone call anytime and anywhere. Different from other Buddhist practices, no conditions of place and time are necessary. We can carry this practice anytime, anywhere, and we can be connected with Amida Buddha. We can be always with the Buddha in the voice of Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So we could say the Nembutsu practice of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism is revolutionary, very revolutionary, unique, and different from other Buddhist practices. However, let us think it in this way. We can perform this practice anytime and anywhere in our daily life, which means we can truly live with the Dharma, and then live with the Buddha. Therefore, I think the teaching or this practice totally accords with the essence of Buddhism. That is, practice is not something special and separated from our daily life, but the Nembutsu practice totally a part of our daily life. So this smartphone, mobile phone is really convenient. It allows us to make a phone call or access to the internet anytime, anywhere, although we need good reception, signal, and the battery. But speaking of Amida Buddha, there is no out of range, right? Buddha has no kind of out of range, and then no battery, issue. Buddha is full of energy. So we are always connected with Amida Buddha in the voice of Nembutsu. As a Jodo Shinshu priest or salesperson of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, I strongly recommend you to get the, portable Buddhism, okay, Nembutsu practice. So this is my Dharma message for today. So I would like to conclude my message reading Shinran Shonin's passage one more time. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. For all people, men and women, of high station and low, saying the name of Amida is such, that whether one is walking, standing, sitting, or reclining is of no concern, and time, place, condition are not restricted. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda 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 Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu.